What's up everybody, Fritz here. You might be thinking to yourself, are those M4 competition seats in the M235i? Why yes, they are. But when you get inside and sit down in those seats, you're also going to notice that there are no error codes on the screen. And in today's video, we're gonna go over how you can install these seats into your BMW. Let's get into the video. So whether you want more support while you're driving, or you want to refresh to the interior of your car while maintaining the OEM look, these seats are definitely for you. And for those of us with the M235i or anybody with the F-Series sports seats, we already have all the functionality and coding built into our cars to adapt these seats right away. All that we have to do is transfer over the original computer module to the new seats. By swapping over the original control module, we're going to be able to trick the car into thinking that these seats were meant for the car, because the cars are actually coded by the control module under the seat, not necessarily the seat itself. So by doing so, we're going to be able to maintain all the original aspects and functionality of the M seat into our BMW while maintaining the original controls. It's often been reported that post-installation, the controls are in reverse. So the up will go down and the forward will go backwards, as well as the bolster controls. In order to fix this, we have to swap over the computer module, and this will also allow us to clear any codes that come up after installation of the seats with a simple app from your phone. Now, those of you with a basic seat, you may need some additional coding as well as some wiring. But with that said, let's go ahead and get started with the passenger seat first. Let's remove the floor mats and give them a good cleaning. By the time they dry, we'll be all done. Next, slide the seats back to undo the two T50 bolts in the front. Then slide the seat forward and undo the two rear T50 bolts. With the bolts out, tilt the seat back and unclip the wiring harness before removing the seat. Just keep in mind good ergonomics, the headrest, and don't forget to recenter the rails. With the seat out, we have a rare chance to clean the area, so let's take advantage of it. If you're having the seats shipped to you, ensure they're in good condition before installation. In my case, I used FedEx Freight from LA to the Bay Area for $450, while the seats cost $2,500. A hefty price, but good seats don't come cheap. And if you're hoping to save some weight, I'm sorry to break it to you, but the M4 competition seats weigh 57.6 pounds each, which is 2 pounds more than the sport seats. So it looks like we're adding 4 pounds of additional M performance. The seats I bought did not come with a seatbelt buckle, so I switched them over. It's only held in by a single T50, a couple zip ties, and its electrical connection. When reinstalling the seatbelt, use the securing and locating tab before tightening down the T50 to 35 Newton meters, and don't forget new zip ties. If you need to transfer over all wiring harnesses, here's the arrangement they go in. On the underside of the seat, we have our computer module. Let's first remove the wires that use this locking mechanism, just to press the clip and pull out. The last two use the sliding lock guide mechanism. Now pry off the module from its retaining clips. Do the same for the M4 seats and swap over your original module to the M4 seats. It should be all plug and play. The two sliding harnesses go in first, then the bigger clip harness, followed by the black one, then brown, and the one with the skinny wires goes in at the very end. We can now bring in the M4 competition seats. Just be mindful that the headrest sits a little higher. The electrical harness does not require much force if it's lined up. the locking mechanism will join the two parts. If you have too much resistance, try repositioning it. Then secure the 4 T50 bolts to 35 Newton meters. By now, the floor mat should be dry and ready to come in. The driver's side is basically the same thing, minus a few wires, and the computer module is flipped, so you have better access to remove and swap over the modules. The yellow wiring harness only has two inner harnesses, the blue one which goes on the inner portion, and the white one for the seatbelt buckle on the outer side. The great thing about using OEM seats from the same generation is that if anything is missing, like the seatbelt buckle, you already have the parts to swap over, and by using your original computer module, no money needs to be spent on additional coating. You simply get the upgraded seat with full functionality. It's even been retrofitted to previous generations with some adjustments to the wiring harness. One functionality exception specific to the competition seats is that they don't have the inflatable bladder for lumbar support. So if that's a feature you enjoy, you'll want the regular M seat or stick with the sport seats. Speaking of the sport seats, after I spend some time in these seats, I'll do a full review and comparison to the original sport seats. So if you have a specific question in mind, please leave it down in the comment section so I can include it in that review video. Once both seats are fully installed, turn on the car, and if an error code pops up, you can use an OBD2 scanner app or BM3 if your car is tuned, and clear the code. In my case, I was getting the ABS light, but my scanner couldn't read the code. Just go through the clearing process anyways, and this will get rid of the light and the error message. Lastly, check the seat's controls to ensure they're working as expected, and functions like the memory settings and heat also work. And just like that, we have the M4 competition seats installed on your BMW, all without any error codes. Just expect a little bit more of a snug fit due to the nature of these seats hugging you a little bit more and the stiffer material that they're used and built with. And this installation will apply to any of the coupe series. But if you're using any of the sedans, make sure to use the M3 seats or M3 competition seats because you have that seatbelt attachment point built into the seats. The coupes, those seat belts attach actually to the chassis and include the rear access latch. If you have any other questions, please leave it down in the comment section below, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. And I'll see all of you in the next one.